So this is the start of just a video series about the gardening, farming, micro farming that I've learned after moving to San Antonio. That was inspired by another person on YouTube who said that he's been here for a while, and he didn't see very many, a lot of productions, whatsoever, not just on YouTube, but information about gardening and things that grow in San Antonio. And I've learned a lot just just amateur looking stuff up and Googling a whole bunch, and also from his feed. So I'd like to put out some content that might help some other people, might help them navigate some of the challenges that I definitely ran into, and maybe save you some time. So for starters, I'm here in San Antonio, very south San Antonio, almost on the Bear and Atascosa County line. And we bought this property. Didn't really know what the soil was like before we got here, but it's very sandy. We're actually right next to, not right next to, but in about this area, there's I think it's called a silica mining, extraction mine. Just there's sand that people get from a big pile. So this is very sandy soil. I'm trying to amend as much as I can with zero knowledge. Not a very big agricultural background whatsoever. I've been made fun of for very small things by my grandpa, who knows his stuff, and he taught me a lot. So I'm trying to use some of that, and I'll make this video series to hopefully get that information out, because I really believe that micro farming, a small farm future, good book if you haven't read that. I'm halfway through, so maybe I shouldn't recommend it until I'm all the way done with it. But good so far. So here it goes. Yeah, here's the property. I'll flip the screen around. I mean, really small venture going so far. Here's a very small, lazy compost area. This is a cedar wood raised bed area that I very initially was saying maybe I should grow something in there, but it very quickly just turned into what I use to throw compost in. You can see eggshells, and you can see little sprouts coming up, because I didn't know this, but apparently regular beans and legumes and even rye grain, regular just big bags of rye grain that you get from just a regular grocery store, they sprout and make plants. Had no idea until I threw them in some soil, and at one point, you might be able to see it when I put the camera over there, but there was a bunch of rye just kind of sticking up all over the little mounds that I made, and I was very concerned, asking what kind of weed is coming up in my mounds. So I have an agricultural well on my property, which helps with the irrigation, of course. This back half is about a half acre. Just back here, you can see a whole bunch of sunflowers that are likely going to be tilled under as I continue taking this area right here in the foreground and pushing it back towards there. We don't know if that's going to happen, or more likely, honestly, if we're going to have the animals that were, chickens and maybe some goats or sheep. We'll have them on the back half of the property, and then we'll put, I'll show you the front half of the property where I'll have my gardening and micro farming there as well. But as far as the back half here, so far, I mean, I very little research. Just went into, hey, how do I grow cantaloupes, watermelons, and what grows in San Antonio in the summer, because I started at the very beginning of summer, and I don't know if that was the right thing to do or what, but got to take a step, right? So I looked it up, and watermelon and cantaloupe and those kinds of fruits, those kinds of plants grow real well in sandy soil in the summer in San Antonio, for our climate, which I think is 8A. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so I looked up how to do it, and it said to build some mounds. And these mounds right here, I mean, I just kind of used a boot to use measurements. So 1, 2, 3-ish, 3 by 3 for cantaloupe. And these bigger mounds, which I think these big mounds over here, these bigger mounds like that one, pretty sure that's watermelon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think those are like 5 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 5. And I got, a handful of watermelon, handful of cantaloupe going, just kind of intermixed. It really amateur, just kind of started. And I mean, things are popping up. It looks like I missed one watering day so far, and this is like probably within the first 2 weeks or so of planting them, maybe 3. But you can see, very small guys coming up. Again, some of these honestly might be the legumes that were put into the soil as well, which I've heard fixes nitrate into the soil, which is apparently good for plants. So, hey, hope that helps. But yeah, what I'm most excited about, honestly, is not the watermelon and cantaloupe, although I love watermelon and my wife loves cantaloupe. Again, I think that's a little cantaloupe. I think I planted like 3 or so in each mound. 3 in a watermelon mound and 3 seeds in a cantaloupe mound. Not sure how well that's going to go. I've heard that these are called garden hogs. They take up a lot of space. That's definitely a cantaloupe right there. And then this is the most active watermelon mound that I have. Got a lot going on here. And I mean, they're about, at least a foot apart as far as the seed spacing goes. So I hope that's right. We'll see. But yeah, back to what I was really excited about is the pumpkins that I have growing. I talked to a few people, and not a lot of people are growing pumpkins. And I figured, why not? I have a whole bunch of land that I'm not really using yet. And pumpkins, especially the Big Macs and jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, apparently their vines take up a lot of room. And I have all this room, so why not? These guys are really impressive. I'm pretty sure these are the Big Macs pumpkins. I really can't remember. I'll show you the ones that I know for sure are the Big Macs. You can see that this mound isn't very big at all. I don't think I made this mound row big enough. It's only like 1.5 feet or so across, and very short distance that way. But we'll see. I'll do what I can with it. I'd already thinned out. I mean, there were pumpkins sprouting up in between these, and I thinned them out because after additional research, I kind of scared myself, saying, "Oh no, there's not going to be enough nutrients, especially in this sandy soil, for these these pumpkins that are so close together." But so far it's working out. I mean, that's a pretty big leaf coming up, pretty big vines. We'll see how that goes. So pretty cool, very excited about that. At first I was real excited about the sunflowers. My wife always makes fun of my changing excitements, because I get attached to something like, oh, this is so cool, and I'll learn everything about it, and then very likely I'll jump to something else that intrigues me. But hey, it's fun, learn a bunch of stuff. But yeah, a bunch of these cucumber leaf sunflowers, which I used an app. I forget what the app is called. It was a plant identification app, and it said it was the cucumber leaf sunflower, also known as the beach sunflower, because it grows really well in sandy soil. I have a whole field of them, and next door to me there's a whole field of them. You can see over there. But yeah, we're gonna do something with this. It might just turn into a bunch of food for goats and sheep and such, but we'll see. So I'm just going to point the camera down a little bit as I walk. Bear with me here. Super professional video. Got another spigot in the very center of my property here. That's the very center. And the very end of the reach of this hose, I figured, be on this side of the fence. You can see we were over there. There's the agricultural well that we were right next to. And this is the very end of the reach of the hose. Here's a mound. It's about 6 by 6, measuring by boots. And you can see, little things popping up. These are definitely the Big Macs pumpkins. I have no clue which of these little sprouts that are just popping up are Big Macs, or maybe the legumes, like I said, you know, whatever beans that were in the, oh, you can see, I don't know what those little seeds are. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that's in the, oh, those are, you know what? I wonder if that actually works. So in my, in my amateur ways, I threw in the middle of a cantaloupe into my compost, and I wonder, I mean, that would make sense if it comes straight from the cantaloupe into the ground, into the compost. I wonder if I'm growing cantaloupe accidentally over here. I don't know, because there's a cantaloupe piece right there, so I definitely have the rind in there. That'd be real interesting. This is going to be a fun discovery process. So on this front half of the property, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mounds. And guys, I'm really just working with a shovel and a hoe. No cultivator, no I don't know, tilling utensil. I'm just manhandling it. And that's been super fun on my back, along with rearranging my garage recently. So, yay! So yeah, I don't know where this is going, but I'm going to keep making videos, and hopefully somebody else here in San Antonio who is looking for the same kind of information benefits from anything that I put out, and maybe this will hold me accountable for watering every day, and then every other day, and then every other. I don't know what the process is. Again, this is also a kind of a two-way streak. I'd like to put out whatever I know and have learned maybe throughout the weeks, and then if anybody sees something that I'm doing wrong and you want to tell me, hey, hey, you're doing this wrong, you're not going to have a good harvest, do it this way, that would be real helpful. So please comment. I don't care if it's a bad comment, a good comment, just throw it out there. I'm not going for likes and subscriptions, so I'm just going for, if y'all can help me out, I'd love to keep putting out content and help as many people as I can learn the kind of stuff that I'm trying to learn. So, all right.